Welcome to the mystery box. The Eastern Pacific, which is what the Eastern Pacific has pretty much come the past several days. It's pretty much become an absolute mystery box right now. I mean, as expected, there's been a suppressed phase of both the MGO, which is currently in the West Pacific. You can already see some enhanced convection near the date on right here, and there's also some sort of suppressed phase of a Kelvin wave, and as a result, you see two up-level lows, one near Hawaii. It's kind of part of the Great Hawaiian Shear that's kind of shearing off anything that's trying to form. And then you have the second upper-level low near the Baja California Sur that's also trying to shear up this tropical wave. And you can see the Eastern Pacific is an extremely hostile place for tropical cyclone development now. Can it change? Maybe. It's really a mystery for now. Hold on a second. Alright, there you go. Well, it's really a mystery box. I really do not know. I mean, let's look at the good things. According to GFS, we have a convectively cooled Kelvin wave coming in pretty soon. That likely provide some help. I'm not sure if the models are recognizing this quite yet, but they should be if they're not doing so soon. Even then, they don't really have anything terribly suppressed within the Eastern Pacific within the next few days. They have most of the suppressed Kelvin wave, phase of the Kelvin wave. The Atlantic, if anything, I expected, if anything, the Kelvin wave pulse to get stronger because of the fact that the EPAC waters are warm. And when the waters are warm, convectively cooled Kelvin waves and the MGO pulses like to stay in that particular area of the world. And deal with the MGO forecast. They show an actually quite interesting MGO pulse arriving around, probably if that based on extrapolation right now. It's in the West Pacific and it's supposed to be moving to the Central Pacific this week, where, I mean, at this point I think it'll be too early to get anything in the Central Pacific. Before it actually manages to make it up into the Eastern Pacific, probably sometime in early July. However, even though there's some disagreement within the models, as I mentioned last week, and now as of late, they've trended towards keeping this MGO pulse weaker. As a result, models are not explicitly showing the EPAC anytime soon, which seems odd and somewhat unlikely to verify because of the fact that there's so many warm waters in the East Pacific. However, I will say the season has turned into an absolute mystery right now. This season's a mystery box right now. Really, who the hell knows what's going to happen next? The season's been it's been a forecasting nightmare, and I think that this one's going to continue. These kinds of events are sometimes tough to predict. Like July was pretty tough to predict. I mean, right now, so far, we are at pace with 2014. However, if we do not pick it up soon, we will start falling behind the most active seasons in history. And this is kind of why I was somewhat skeptical on the fact that on the prospects of an insanely active season, because I felt that a phase like this could potentially happen. I mean, there was some ensemble. There have been some strong ensemble hints last week, and there was some strong hints in the GFS last week. However, looking at today's GFS run, you can even see a few hints off the coast of Central America around 306 hours without anything really. I mean, the CFS has still been pretty bullish, but I mean, the CFS, even that, has not been nearly as aggressive as it once was on the super long-range East Pacific tropical cyclones. But even though it does still show a parade of systems through forming in July and August, and we'll see how it verifies, it did do a good job. The CFS did do a good job verifying in the beginning of the season. However, I will note some cautions. Even the tropical cyclone Happy CMC run, which sometimes actually underdues Genesis during these inactive. I mean, general tropical cyclone Happy CMC run, even not too aggressive. Though I will know it does from time to time underdo Genesis and in the active phase of the convectively cooled Kelvin wave / MGO pulse. However, I will say that this is too much uncertainty for me to confidently predict what could happen this week. We could have no storms for another 2 weeks. We could have an outburst of storms starting in a few days. We really do not know. There once again remains a large uncertainty. However, I'm leaning towards more of an inactive solution despite the MGO pulse. and supposedly very Cooper cover with time, because sometimes the early season especially, with the West Pacific being active as it is right now, a convectory Cooper Kelvin wave is not going to do too much. Just being, especially when it doesn't look that strong like the one we have upcoming. Now the MGO. Now I will note that we've seen several times the model suddenly change in a few days. The next thing you know, it's possible, as we've seen in the past. We saw this last August, we saw this last MGO books, that next thing you know, in a few days the models could suddenly turn on. And I noticed CFS and GFS MGO forecasting is a little bit different, I think. So I think that's why the CFS may be a little bit more bullish on the next few weeks than the GFS. Even though the CFS is pretty bullish in general, even the Atlantic is probably showing more tropical cyclone activity, which is probably going to actually happen. Now, it's very unusual, however, to see tropical waves not developing due to the presence of a upper level low, as you can see right here. You can see initially there's also a lot of dry air. You can see this MGO base stage sending an epic heat wave across the western United States. Here, let's take a look at, you can see at the western United States, you can see lots of dry air being scuffed. You can see the subtropical jets still being located over Oregon, and Washington, which is pretty typical of El Nino years, and you can see some of the moisture being enhanced. Texas probably partially associated with the remnants of Tropical Storm Carlos, Hurricane Carlos rather. It's being just in Texas, a place where you don't need an author page. Of course, you have the remnants of Tropical Storm Bill. But right now, the main focus is the East Pacific, and right now that is an absolute mystery box, and will remain so. I will also note that the models are also showing a ridge of high pressure maintaining itself off the west coast of Baja California, which could either A, favor landfalls, or B, favor hostile conditions on the southwesterly side, which would prevent an otherwise very favorable pattern for storms in the southwest, on the southwest side of the ridge. But we'll see how this pans out. I will note there's been some kind of pattern change as of late for the change instead of the traditional East Coast troughing. We're seeing some very unusual high pressures in the Atlantic, and it's going to be interesting to see its effect on the East Pacific. That may lead to something quite different, or see hurricane season quite different, and probably presumably favor more southwesterly out sea systems than we've seen in years past. It's going to be interesting to see. Anyhow, now that's it for today. That's it for this week. We update video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Bye. Bye.